Have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are, like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco and they were all gay people in the audience, they told me. So I figured I'll do
In San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up.
Right.
They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies, like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work, like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, a first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? This kid. He can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass, this kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to you.
To watch the maturation of you as an artist, to realize it took you 9.5 minutes to get around to the sucking cock stuff.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having a little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So. Yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years, so.
I wanted to talk about the crocodile hunter.
Did you?
Because I think...
You're going to make him sad.
Because I think, you know, it was tragic at the time, but I think... I don't know, people calling me, man, they're shocked. "Oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it, who got killed? The crocodile hunter."
Please don't make me laugh at this.
He was 44 years old. I'm like, that's a ripe old age for a crocodile hunter.
That's not...
And you know who had to be pissed about it were the crocodiles, because he got killed by some fruity fish. And so you know the crocodiles were like, "Hey man, that crocodile hunter got killed. Who did it, Frank?" You don't even want to know, man.
Please don't do this anymore.
Go, Bill, man, you had a chance. When the guy go, "Man, I had a chance. I had that mother. He was Tommy with a stick. I could have eat him and his kid."
I don't feel good about this.
You remember I ever tell you that story, Bill? Yeah, only 1,000 times.
That's for the kids.
I was a little late here tonight. I took a cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. Something like that. Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. This seems kind of immature. Two 23-year-old women in China this week have set a record, living 12 days in a room with 888 deadly snakes. They now hold a place, a coveted place, in the Guinness Book of World Retard. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck.
I've never asked you this before, and we've been good friends for many years.
Ah.
Okay, I made that up, but...
No. We haven't?
No, we're friends. We're good friends, but I don't know what your... McDonald, is that Irish? Is that Scottish? What's your ethnic background?
My ethnic background is Polish.
Are you really Polish? Wow.
Polish people,
I didn't
yeah.
realize that.
Yeah.
McDonald, you don't...
Well, my parents changed their names. They
Right.
had to because of the constant ribbing they'd get for being Polish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so they changed their name to McDonald. But, you know, it's one of the things that you can, you know, I mean, I get a little upset about it, you know. Because, you know, you
All the
can't...
Polish jokes and
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't make jokes about other people, but for some reason you make jokes about Polish people, you know?
Right, right.
I don't like it.
Right. You shouldn't. That sounds bad, yeah.
I mean, I had an experience, you know. I go in and I order a Polish sausage, you know, from this guy, you know. And so the guy says to me, you must be Polish. And I said, come on, man. I mean, come on. Think about it, what you're saying. You know, I'm trying to knock some sense into this fellow's head, maybe give him a wider world view, you know?
Sure, yeah.
I said, you think because I order a Polish sausage, I'm Polish. I said, what if somebody came in here and ordered French toast? Would you think he was French, you know?
Right.
I mean, what if somebody came in here and ordered a Belgian waffle? Would you consider that guy a Belgian, you know? I mean, if a guy came in and ordered a German bratwurst, would you consider that fellow to be a German fella?
Right,
I said, what if a guy came in and ordered German potato salad? I suppose you'd think he was German too. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, what if a guy...
Wow, you talked to this guy for a while.
I'm telling you, man. With racists, you have to get through
You have to
them.
really get it into their head. Right.
I said, if a guy came in and he ordered a Cuban hamburger, are you going to assume he's a Cuban?
Right.
I said, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that just because I come in here, I order a Polish sausage, why would you jump to the fact that I'm Polish?
Right.
And the guy says to me, well, first of all, it's a hardware store.
And you hate Polish jokes, don't you? You just hate them.
No, I think they're disgusting.
And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? That's good. Yeah. Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're gonna say the whole city's gonna go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College?
No,
You think Jack Benny is funny?
I don't even know. No, I don't really know any of his shit.
You've seen him though. Like when you.
I saw him on Byron Allen. No,
Comics Unleashed. Here's the thing Byron Allen has. A show called The Entertainers. And what he does so he'll go to junkets.
Right.
And then he has huge guests. So it'll be like at the beginning it'll be his voice. The Entertainers. Tonight, Harrison Ford, Adam Sandler, Morgan Freeman. It's the biggest stars ever. And he just interviews them in the junkets, but he makes it sound as if, and then this is his gambit. This is what he does to people. So let's say he's talking to Harrison Ford, right? He'll go, now the last time I talked to you, you were talking about working out. And so then Harrison Ford goes, like he's never talked to him before or anything, but he figures a black guy, it's going to sound bad. He says, I know, who the fuck are you? So he goes, yes, I'm
he's just making up like.
This looks like he's best friends with all these viewers.
I'd hate to go and see him one night and go, boy, he reminds me of young Byron Allen. He's brilliant, Byron Allen. He had that Comics Unleashed. You ever do that? Oh, you couldn't be more leashed.
Yeah, it's not like, there's nothing unleashed about it. It's not like you would have like Lenny Bruce on and like,
and he has no segue. So this is what he said to John Lovitz one time. He just turned to him from, he's talking to Schimmel, and then he goes to John Lovitz. He goes, now, John, I understand you're growing older.
Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah, Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... Goodness. Well, the magazine POV came out this week with a list of the best and worst jobs to have in the next century. Their 3 best were, in this order, multimedia software designer, management consultant, and interactive advertising executive. While their worst, for the 3rd year in a row, crack whore. U.S. News and World Report's list of the best and worst jobs for 1996 is out. Last year's best job, multimedia software consultant, was replaced by a new best job, bioindustrial engineer. And in the worst job category, last year's winner, crack whore, has lost its spot. The new worst job is assistant crack whore. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know, it's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Yeah, Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. It's a word of advice.
The iron horse of broadcasting.
It's iron. You don't pronounce it iron.
That's what everybody tells me.
It's the iron horse. Like Lou Gehrig was the iron horse of baseball.
Yes.
The word I-R-O-N is iron. No, iron.
Iron.
That's what makes English the world's toughest language.
Yeah.
You know, right? Sure.
It is the
Because
toughest
language
To
to
me,
learn.
it's the easiest.
Yeah, well, you were born with it.
Yeah. Say what you want about how huge and fat my head has gotten, but who'll forget it.
Try iron. Why doesn't that clock work?
Why doesn't that cock work?
That
No,
clock
it's, my cock works
Oh,
just
this
fine.
clock
It's
over
Your
here.
mind is going somewhere, Norm.
No, I thought that's what you said.
I heard you had Larry King on here.
Cast
Your
iron.
show that's amazing, by the way. No one gets on Larry King. Larry King gets you.
I know you're new to this. I'm going to teach you something. One of the first things in hosting an interview show is to listen.
What's that now?
The answer given by the guest. My whole motto, my whole broadcasting career, that's why I don't like a lot of guys on the air now, is that I never learned anything when I was talking.
Can I interrupt you there?
Yeah. But
Now, I wanna ask you
I was
this.
with Carlos Slim all day today, the richest man in the world. He's partner in.
The richest man in the world is Carlos Slim?
Correct, from Mexico. You never heard of him?
Of course not. I'm not a connected guy.
Well, that's right. I just heard you. You don't watch the news. Well,
So Carlos
Big
Slim,
is a terrific guy.
and this guy is working with you on Aura TV.
He financed it.
He financed it. The richest man in the world.
$76 billion.
We should get together with this Carlos Slim.
Seems like a good guy.
I just had a meeting with some lady, said she had a lot of money, Fat Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. And what, she want to finance something with you? What does she want to do with you?
You know what? So I loved Liberace, but with all due respect, man, if you kicked that guy in the ass, 100 cocks would fall out. Now, this is not what I do on Hulu.
No, you wouldn't do that.
No. Because I have respect for Carlos Slim. Literally selling you death.
That's the one thing I fear is dying.
Man, that haunts me.
Because the thought of not existing, you know, it's like, you know what the new thing they call it is? Dirt nap.
Good God, Larry.
That's what they call it, a dirt nap.
You would not say that on Hulu.
No, I wouldn't say it, but I'd say it here.
That's what I heard Larry King say to a guy once. What? The guy had lost his child. Oh, no. And Larry King goes, Paul Newman told me, you never get over it. It's like some unfeeling psychotic. So then people go, well, who do you want? Well, there's that one comedian. She's a comedian, and she's also a lady.
Yeah.
And then it gets...
It's more common now.
Huh?
A lot more.
It's common now.
SNL is very...
They rule.
They rule the SNL.
Look, who is bigger than Tina Fey?
She's strong.
Too big to fail.
Finally, according to the U.S. News and World Report 1997 Career Guide, the best job in the United States for the second year in a row is Interactive Business System Analyst. However, last year's worst job, Assistant Crack Whore, has been replaced by a new worst job, Crack Whore Trainee.
Hello, everybody. Here with Norm MacDonald, chewing the fat. Where do you live here, of course, in the city, because you're doing the show.
I live in New York City.
Yeah. This isn't a police interrogation. Are you sure? Where about? Where in the city do you live, approximately, not specifically? But...
I live at 56 between 8th and Broadway.
Okay, and what's your phone number?
No,
just give me 7 digits. All right. What, your neighbors nice people? The people that live around
great people. Every day I meet somebody new, you know. This city's great because of the neighborly people, you know. I don't know. But I did meet one neighbor, interesting story, you know, that this guy, he just moved in, you know, next door to me. So I'm always one to meet the neighbors.
You like to chat with the neighbors,
yeah, because, you know, so I went over to the guy, I knocked on the door next door to where I live, and I say to the guy, I said, hey, I'm your new neighbor, you know, and I said, good to see you, you know, nice to run into you, you know, welcome to the neighborhood, you know. And so the guy, I said, what do you do for a living there, sir, you know, if you don't mind me asking? You know, what do you do for a living? I'm a nightclub comic, I tell the guy. So he says to me, he says, I work down at the University of Science there. He says,
that's a good school, by the way.
I can't remember the exact place.
Sure.
But he says, I'm a professor of logic.
Oh.
So he says, the guy says, logic. Now, what the hell is that? I never heard tell of that. He says, oh, well, he says it's a kind of a pattern of syllogistic. Well, he says it's hard to explain. He says, why don't I give you an example? So I said, fair enough. Why don't you do that? So the guy says, well, he says, let me ask you a question. He says, do you own a doghouse? So I go, yes, I do. He says, well, then that means you probably have a dog. I said, yes. He says, well, that means you're likely you have a family if you have a dog. I said, yes, I do. He said, well, then that means you got kids, you're married? I said, yes, I am. He says, well, then you're a heterosexual man. I said, yes, sir, I am. He says, well, you see, that's logic there. I asked if simply from finding out you had a doghouse, I made this series of inferences, and I found that you're a heterosexual man simply from the fact that you had a doghouse. Well, I said, good God, isn't that something?
Okay.
So I said, well, I won't waste any more of your time there, neighbor. And I said, I'll see you later.
See you around. Okay.
So I said, come by one day and have a chicken with me. So anyways, I left. So I left. So I go to get a bus, you know, to the bus stop. And I walk down to the bus stop, and I'm still thinking about this thing that happened to me, you know. And I'm standing at the bus, and no bus coming at all, you know, and 5 or 6 of us standing around, and one guy lights up a cigarette there, and he goes, as soon as you light up a cigarette, the bus comes. And he smokes the whole damn cigarette, no bus comes.
Right.
So I said to the guy, well, that theory really worked, huh? And the guy goes, well, sometimes it works. Anyways, the guy goes, what's new with you? I go, well, I had an interesting thing happen to me today. I said, I met my neighbor. And he goes, oh, yeah? I go, he had a hell of an interesting job. I said, he's a professor of logic down at the University of
Science.
And So the guy says, is that so? He says, Professor of logic. He goes, what the hell is that, logic? I said, well, it's a series of Scylla something or other.
Right.
I said, I can't remember exactly, but I said, I'll give you an example if you want to hear an example.
Yeah.
So the guy goes, all right, fair enough. So I said, let me ask you this. I said, let me ask you a question. Do you own a doghouse? And the guy goes, no, I don't own a doghouse. So the guy says, oh, yeah, you're one of them gays.
And it worked, right? What great stuff you can learn at
Yeah, it was
that
nice.
University of Science there. All right.
And then the guy, and then get this. Get this.
There's more.
This gay guy
Yeah.
invites me to have a chicken at his place.
That's some kind of euphemism.
I don't
Watch
know.
out.
The new people. Oh, hey, guess what? There's a young girl that's middling attractive that swears a lot. Let's get her. What? Is that the new fucking thing?
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman,
girls-
hysterical.
Right.
Who's funnier than her?
Nobody.
No, except dudes. But,
Nobody.
and we're going to read jokes. We read jokes.
I thought you were going to talk about this thing.
We're going to talk about the man. What about the man great?
Is that like a genital cleanser?
No! No, my God. What is the man great, you ask?
Okay.
Huh?
Fine. I didn't, but...
You didn't ask. It is 100% made in America. Cast iron grilling grates.
Iron. You don't pronounce it iron.
That's what everybody tells me.
It's the iron horse. Like Lou Gehrig was the iron horse of baseball.
Yes.
The word I-R-O-N is iron. No, iron.
Cast iron.
Iron?
Cast iron grilling grates that
Are
are
you kidding when you say iron?
You know what? Don't be like fucking Larry King. That motherfucker, I say iron and he's up my asshole for fucking 4 days.
It should be iron. That's what makes English the world's toughest language.
Yeah.
You know, right? Sure.
It is the
Because it's
toughest
language to
me,
learn.
it's the easiest. Man great. Great. Have you heard of the man great?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear about it?
On Adam Carolla's podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Do you have a father? Man great is the perfect gift for this Father's Day. Is he alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% made in America. If he was dead, it would have been a really bad moment in the commercial. Your dad's alive?
No.
Fuck. God damn it. I'm sorry about your dad.
That's fine.
Your father's dead. But you have children. You are a father.
Yes, and I'm not dead.
Yes.
Maybe you'll give me one. And
I'll give you
use it.
one. Is your mom still alive?
My mom?
Yeah.
No, she's dead.
Jesus Christ, is any of your relatives fucking alive? It's man great. They're revolutionizing the way people grill. What, Adam Egan? It's true. You haven't heard of the revolution? You can put chicken on this or steak. That's not that unique. It has heavy duty grilling grates. Why are you laughing? You think the grilling grates are flimsy?
These are very heavy.
Yes, no, but that's part of the charm. It weighs a lot of pounds.
Is that heavy?
Yeah. Listen, man, what was that fucking Vegas story?
Jesus Christ. Sorry. What is in that?
Again. It's revolutionizing the way people grill.
Jesus.
What?
I thought it was like a, all right.
You want to hear what it has?
Yeah.
It has heavy-duty grilling grates. Listen. No more dry meat. What do you think of that?
Ed, you want your meat juicy.
Oh, come on now. Don't make it sound like a fucking fat, plumpy, delicious cock. No more flare-ups. You know, in your barbecues, all those big flare-ups. It was named one of 2012's best grilling accessories. There's more fucking facts about the man grate than about Nick. Why are you laughing? You're making a mockery out of the man grate. Chicken, steak, has never tasted so good. Hey, how about this? Each NORM MACDONALD show order comes with a heavy-duty grilling brush.
Jesus.
You don't want to put that on your not dry meat.
Look at that. Those things are dirty.
No, no.
That's from the iron.
Are you sure?
Yes. Well, it's not from my cock.
What?
I just went to the bathroom. You say cock so much.
I'm coming in your butt.
Oh my God. Well, listen, man. Hey,
Your mouth is my toilet.
again. Again. This commercial is like a mini-series. Are you a jingoist? 100% made in America. 100% cast iron. Mangrate.com. Thank you, Andy. That's yours. You just threw your own going away present with contempt to the floor. That was our only sponsor.
Oh, yeah, and you lost.
Yeah, now we found out we lost Mangrate as a sponsor. And then earlier today, I think we were told legally we can't say we lost them as a sponsor even.
Yeah, I think we were still waiting to find out if we were allowed to say that.
But anyways,
Fuck
that
it,
was
who cares?
Schwartzen.
We lost them.
That was Nick Schwartzen that fucked it all up. Some gold-plated chains would make a nice retirement gift for a very, very good slave. Well, this
Are you serious?
Well, this was written.
Are you serious?
This was written years
Did
ago.
you just write that?
I didn't write
Did
it.
you just say that?
No, I read it. Yes.
You read that?
It was an old. This Lindsay Lohan can't swim a stroke, but she sure knows every dive in town.
That one I liked. That was my favorite. I'm keeping this.
That is a favorite.
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot-tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores. That's you. That's your voice all the way right there. It's the old, the Norm MacDonald lean in, whores.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, Norm MacDonald.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. You know, in the, what's that? Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is my name. You know, when the people here asked me to do the show, you know, I gotta say, I felt kind of weird, you know. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, you know. I used to do the weekend update news routine. You remember that? And, yeah. That's where I did the make-believe news jokes, you know. That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, you know? Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know, you don't want it. But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny? inexplicable to me because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is I'm still not funny. The good news is the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back.
He also was really drawn to touchy subjects. So it's like a brutal murder. Yeah.
He got pleasure in being dangerous.
Yeah. How many anal rape jokes did we hear? You know, how many,
including, I must bring it up, the Swedish German.
That became
Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
That became a thing. Yeah, and actually Conan and I were talking about this yesterday.
I had forgotten about this, and of course, you said that you sometimes see it online.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, let's hear about that because you know me, I'm in the nose cone of the rocket.
Right.
I'm at the top of the pyramid.
Right. Your ivory tower. There's a lot of clouds underneath your window.
I'm up there counting my gold coins. I can't be concerned with what you're doing down in the moat.
No, people. I mean, every weekly, someone will just arbitrarily just call me a Swedish German. And it was
explain what that means.
I know. Well, I mean, I know they're Norm fans because Norm would do, and Norm was also like kind of a traditionalist. So he did the, talk to the talk show host, but then there's this guy over here, this one. Let's make fun of him.
Yeah.
And a lot of his jokes, like I say, he was drawn to the things that you're not supposed to say. So a lot of his jokes were about being queer, gay porno, this fellow over here, he enjoys the gay porno. And that became a thing with me. And at one point, he was talking about your ethnicity, you're Irish, I'm Scottish, what are you? And I said, I'm Swedish German. And he, for some reason, was like, really? And I was like, yeah, well, why would I make that up?
I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German? Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd
It's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German. But that then later became a euphemism for gay. Yeah. The old prospector comes to town and wants a prostitute, but no, there's no prostitutes. There's just Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
And I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
It's outrageous because it's Norm. It's outrageous because it's on a talk show.
And it's you.
And it's me. Yeah. But and I think that some people think that I was somehow, and somebody else, a friend of mine pointed out, there's nothing, you can't do anything with that.
Right.
There's nothing to do with that when Norm MacDonald says, this fellow over here, and it would go to hey, Conan, have you met his wife?
But then you did say, at least I had my dignity, and says, you were raped.
Yeah, he goes to rape,
Yeah.
And
my God.
Got to be all secret. Nobody. I say nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people know about it. How do you figure that? He says, I don't know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Well, at least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice.
You weren't gay.
Right. Yeah. Well, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
And I said, but I never was that crazy about that because I would think, I'm sitting there and we're in a studio and we're laughing about it now. And it is like, the point of that joke is this fella's a queer.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very old-fashioned, retrograde joke that we just don't do anymore.
Right.
And some jokes that we don't do anymore, we don't do them anymore because they shouldn't be done.
Right.
And we shouldn't have been doing them in the first place. So I was always thinking about the gay people that work on the Conan O'Brien show.
Yeah.
How do I look them in the face after being there and hardy-harring about the punchline being that I'm a gay fella? And and we're thinking about the people in my family who are gay. Like, if they're going to watch that, how are they going to think when the real bottom line, what's funny about that is that I was supposedly a homosexual. And that I was, which to me, I always was like, it's like saying, like, this fellow over here, he doesn't want anybody to know it, but he's a secret Jew. His kitchen's full of matzahs. It's like, you would go like, what are you talking about? What is that? How is that funny?
My kitchen's full of
I know,
matzahs.
but you're not a secret. But you know what I mean? It made me uncomfortable, not because I was afraid that people would think I was gay, because if I was gay, everybody would know that I was gay. It made me uncomfortable because there were people out there in the audience whom I love and care about, who would be left thinking, like, what's so terrible about me that I am a joke, that I'm a punchline, that how I am and who I am is a punchline to a joke. But that was when you're the kind of comic that Norm is, and you are going after any uncomfortable subject, and you're like, oh, let me get in there and roam around and really get my elbows.
Right.
It's gonna be ugly sometimes.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Yes.
He also really enjoyed being around other comedians. Like, that's where he seemed to really come alive. I mean, he was a stand-up, but he also really liked being on in a a situation with other comedians. And I've had people say to me, like, did it bother you? Because like I said, I would be the butt of the joke sometime. And I would say, like, no, that's him. That's like practically like him showing love to me.
Yeah.
Like, he would not insult me if he thought that I, was somehow inferior.
It's like being insulted by Rickles.
Yeah. It's like he's inviting me to play when he's making fun of.
Our guest tonight, the always controversial and hysterically funny Andy Dick. And we will be talking to Andy momentarily, but first, my opening remarks with my trusty sidekick, Adam Egget. Where's Adam Egget? Well, this is odd, folks, and I must say bewildering to me. When I usually look 2 degrees to my right, who do I see but my trusty sidekick, Adam Egget? Well, tonight, no such luck. Wouldn't you know it, huh? Well, this was bound to happen sooner or later. Well, I'm sure he'll be here any second now. It's live. I know what I'll do, what I always do. When I'm in trouble, I read the newspaper. Maybe we'll find out something interesting. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll read the obituaries. At my age, I'm always refreshing to find out that I'm not in them. It's a joke Milton Berle used to do. So, as usual, the Bard of Avon, William Shakespeare, summed it up best when he wrote, "Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more." Well, let us hear, then, from some of this month's most notably deceased strutters and fretters. See who we got here. Ah, Margaret Thatcher, yes, the Iron Lady. She passed over a month ago, but here she is, still in the New York Times obituaries. But I think if you were to open that coffin, you'd find out pretty quickly that she was not made of iron. I don't know if you've ever dug up a month-old corpse, but I haven't. I needed the money. I couldn't sell my blood at the time, or ever, because I have Hep C. But, I didn't have the money, and I wasn't like some people I know who used to jerk off punks for $10 a man. God damn it, it didn't work. I miss Adam Egis. Where the hell is the... He wouldn't be with Andy Dick, would he? Wait a minute here. Adam Egid is a dirty, filthy alcoholic. And Andy Dick is clean and sober. Where is my trusty sidekick Adam Egid? Have you seen him?
The last I saw him, he was in the bathroom with Andy Dick.
In the bathroom with Andy Dick! In the bathroom with Andy Dick! That's the worst possible news. Come on. Jeez. When you ask where a person is, the last thing you want to hear is he's in the bathroom with Andy Dick. Let's find out. Hey guys, listen, I know what's going on in there. You're sucking each other's hot cocks and you're doing cocaine.
Norm!
Yes, Norm, let me in. What's going on? Andy, why are you naked?
Yeah, Andy, why are you naked?
I think the more important question is, why are you guys not naked?
Well, wait a minute, that's a least important question. That's not an important question at all.
I would agree.
Okay, listen, we gotta start the show. We gotta get out of here, come on.
Wait, paint this real quick. Paint this.
What? We got no time for that. Come on, Adam.
He likes it.
Adam, come on!
And come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no. I need someone like you.
The last movie Chris Farley ever did was Dirty Work. So I'm in the movie with him. And right after Dirty Work, right before he passed away, he hosted Saturday Night Live. So Norm was still doing Weekend Update. So Norm called me up and said, listen, Farley's out of control with coke. Come to the party after the show because you got to help me watch him. Like, that's how bad he was. I was watching.
You had to help watch.
I had to help watch him, okay? So this is how fast Norm is, though. This is a testament to Norm's wit. So I'm at the party, and Norm is talking to somebody, and I'm watching Chris. I'm on coke. I'm coked up. So I see Farley disappear into a bathroom with Andy Dick.
Oh, boy.
Okay, him and Andy go into a bathroom.
Yeah.
They come out 5 minutes later, like giggling. Norm comes over to me and goes, what's going on with Chris? I go, bad news, bro. He goes, what? I go, he went into a bathroom with Andy Dick. I said, there's only two reasons a man goes into a bathroom with Andy Dick, and neither one of them's good. And Norm looked at me without missing a beat and said, holy fuck, I hope he's high.
You see Norm say that.
Holy fuck, I hope he's high.
That's a great impression of Norm.
Holding his stomach. Good news, he was high.
Let me ask you this, of all the people that you've ever interviewed over the years, how many people would you say you've interviewed?
40,000.
40,000.
That's what they, figure 40 years, about 1,000 people a year.
40,000 guests. Now, who was the physically ugliest guest you ever encountered? The ugliest.
Ugliest.
The Elephant Man. You ever interviewed the Elephant Man?
No, we tried.
He was ugly.
But we didn't do. We almost had Siamese twins once.
Really?
Didn't do them.
You're saying Siamese twins are ugly?
They were connected at the head.
And that
would have been difficult.
Not attractive to you?
No.
Would you marry a Siamese twin?
Now stop that. I didn't come here to be insulted.
No, but
all right.
So you never interviewed the
I'm
Elephant
trying to think if you asked a no, I did not interview the Elephant Man. I'm trying to think of the ugliest man I have ever interviewed. The ugliest man. Who's the guy who produces Saturday Night Live?
Lorne Michaels.
That's the man.
Yes, I've met him. He is
hard to look at.
Not easy on the eye.
No, not. Hard to interview people like that.
Not easy on the eye. So you're saying, Larry King, that you find conjoined twins ugly?
At the head, yes.
At the head, they're ugly.
At the hip, they're not ugly. But at the head, well, it's grotesque.
It's grotesque.
Don't you think it's grotesque?
No, I find all humans beautiful.
Larry, that's why we love you.
In a recent interview, Jane Pauley recalled how back in the 70s, she coined the phrase bad hair day. In another recent interview, Larry King recalled how back in the 70s, he coined the phrase bad face day.
You told me that we should go our separate ways, but now you're back.
Other people around the studio here are sick for different reasons.
I don't feel great either.
You don't feel good either?
Not great.
Or it could be viral.
It's possible.
You know this thing that's going on in the middle west of the country, where there's a bacteria, a strain of bacteria that started in the hospital in the middle of the country, and it's going to spread across the United States and maybe be bigger than the influenza pandemic.
No, I haven't heard about that.
No, I just made it up.
Ah!
But I did hear that the avian flu is really a serious thing.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, because apparently it's in the swine now in China. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so it's moved over to swine. It's not
swine, and for some reason, swine is more. There's more chance of a human contracting it from swine in China. I don't want to say anything about the Chinese people.
No.
But there's more chance that they will get infected by swine than avians, which are really birds, let's face it.
Why do you think that is?
What?
Why do you think that is?
Well, because swine have filthy, swinish sex.
I never thought about that.
Who wants to fuck a bird?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good
so
point.
you see these poor Chinese people, peasants, you know, they're not told what's right or wrong.
Okay.
Anyways, I should explain my face. Because I feel like Ted Kennedy. Because you know how huge it's getting?
Yeah.
All my, every time I eat something, you know how it goes right to your hips? Mine goes right to my head.
So true.
Yeah, and so I feel people think I'm a drunk or something because now, since you led me on that long walk for autism or whatever the fuck we went on.
It was for a sandwich.
Yeah, for a sandwich. Yeah. So I live in my apartment and never go out.
Right.
And you come over and you go, let's go get a sandwich down the block.
Right.
So we walk a block, and then the sandwich joint is too full. We go, let's walk further down.
Right.
So we go down Abbott Kinney, and then every place we go, what happens?
Well, they were either packed, closed, or it was like, you know, vegan food, which you avoid like the swine flu.
Yeah,
so,
I can't eat vegan food. Billy Bob eats vegan food.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one place wasn't great. They tricked us, I think.
Yeah, they tricked us because we went into the restaurant and it was all like high tone, like modern colors and everything.
Yes.
And there weren't any smelly hippies around.
No.
So we figured, oh, this is a regular restaurant. And then everything on the menu was, I go, you have Coca-Cola? They go, we have cola.
You know, it was like organic cola.
Yeah, it was organic cola.
Yeah.
So I feel drinking organic cola the entire time would just make me think about how it was not Coca-Cola.
Right.
Right? Yeah, this Coca-Cola is great.
Is it helping?
You know, it's interesting. I used to go to comedy clubs, right?
Right.
I mean, I still do. I'm a stand-up comic.
Of course.
I can prove it. And sometimes an establishment will have only Pepsi. I don't know why. But they'll go like, you'll go like, can I have a Coke? And they'll go, is Pepsi okay? And you go, no, it's not good. Because I think they're under the impression that if Coke is your favorite beverage, then Pepsi should be your second favorite beverage, whereas in fact, it's your least favorite.
Right. That actually makes sense to me.
Yeah. And then also, when they have Pepsi, they have they're like, what about, would you like a Muggs root beer? And you're like, I'm not 8, you know, I don't have a fucking root beer. And then
I like root
The
beer.
guy goes, like, what was Sierra Mist? Well, that's funny. I was going to ask for that. I'm glad you brought that up. I daren't. Whose favorite beverage is that?
Nobody.
Hey, man, I have a pork chop. What do you want with that, sir? You got any Sierra Mist? No. What kind of fucking horse shit is this? Honey, get your coat. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll pull the car around, you get your coat. These fuckers don't have no Sierra Mist. Anyways, I don't know what we're talking about. Anyways, I should explain my face. Because I feel like Ted Kennedy. Because you know how huge it's getting? All my, every time I eat something, you know how it goes right to your hips? Mine goes right to my head.
So true.
Yeah, and so I feel people think I'm a drunk or something because now, since you led me on that long walk for autism or whatever the fuck we went on.
It was for a sandwich.
Yeah, for a sandwich. Yeah. So I live in my apartment and never go out.
Right.
And you come over and you go, let's go get a sandwich down the block.
Right.
So we walk a block, and then the sandwich joint is too full. We go, let's walk further down.
Right.
So we go down Abbott Kinney, and then every place we go, what happens?
Well, they were either packed, closed, or it was like, vegan food, which you avoid like the swine flu.
Yeah, I can't eat vegan
food. That one place wasn't great. They tricked us, I think.
Yeah, they tricked us because we went into the restaurant and it was all like high tone, like modern colors and everything.
Yes.
And there weren't any smelly hippies around.
No.
So we figured, oh, this is a regular restaurant. And then everything on the menu was, I go, you have Coca-Cola? They go, we have cola.
It was like organic cola.
Yeah, it was organic cola.
Yeah.
So I feel drinking organic cola the entire time would just make me think about how it was not Coca-Cola.
Right.
Right? Yeah, this Coca-Cola is great.
Is it helping?
You know what's interesting? I used to go to comedy clubs, right?
Right.
I mean, I still do. I'm a stand-up comic.
Of course.
I can prove it. And sometimes an establishment will have only Pepsi. I don't know why. But they'll go like, you'll go like, can I have a Coke? And they'll go, is Pepsi okay? And you go, no, it's not good. Because I think they're under the impression that if Coke is your favorite beverage, then Pepsi should be your second favorite beverage, whereas in fact, it's your least favorite.
Right. That actually makes sense to me.
Yeah. And then also, when they have Pepsi, they have they're like, what about, would you like a Muggs root beer? And you're like, I'm not 8, I don't a fucking root beer. And then I
like root beer.
The guy goes, like, what was Sierra Mist? Well, that's funny. I was going to ask for that. I'm glad you brought that up. I daren't. Whose favorite beverage is that?
Nobody.
Hey, man, I have a pork chop. What do you want with that, sir? You got any Sierra Mist? No. What kind of fucking horse shit is this? Honey, get your coat. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll pull the car around, you get your coat. These fuckers don't have no Sierra Mist. Anyways, I don't know what we're talking about. But we're really excited because Billy Bob is here.
Oh, I'm so excited.
God damn, I got questions for him and shit.
He's such a good actor.
Huh?
He's a great actor.
I thought he was a great director.
He's a great director too, but I enjoy his acting in particular. We saw Bad Santa a couple nights ago together.
Yeah.
Well, Thursday.
So you feel that your way of insulting him as a director is to say how good an actor he is?
No, that wasn't my intention at all. No.
You said he's a great director, and you said actor.
No, I said no. He's also a great director.
It's one of those guys that do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some guys that can do like 5, 6 things. Then there's guys like you. I'm just saying it evens out. In the long run, it all evens out.
Yeah.
But he reminds me of one of those old-timey dudes that was like a Renaissance man, good at a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jack of all trades, absolutely.
What's that?
Jack of all trades, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Master of none? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, that's the second part of that expression.
I purposely omitted the second part of that.
Because I think he's one of our great. I think he is our greatest director.
What?
Why do you find that so ridiculous?
I thought you were.
Because Sling Blade, I think, is the best movie.
Sling Blade was unbelievable.
In my generation,
that never
and
gets
he
old.
directed it.
Yeah, and wrote it and starred in it.
Yeah. I'm getting woozy. On Saturday, you went to that place.
Yeah, India. Yeah, on Friday and Saturday, I went to Coachella.
You went to India.
Yeah, Indio.
India.
No, not India. Went to Indio, California.
Yeah.
To Coachella, to the music festival.
Coachella, where the damn dirty hippies are.
Sure, there's a lot of different sorts of people, and they mingle and what have you, and take drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Are they still against Wall Street?
I'm not a hippie. No, I'm not. Yeah, I mean.
I remember when that Occupy Wall Street started.
Mm-hmm.
I knew who was going to win.
Of course it's going to win. They didn't
I
stand a
figured Wall
chance.
Street had a much better chance of winning that particular battle.
Sure. Absolutely.
Than a bunch of guys. And also, I don't know how I feel about hippies taking over Wall Street and then putting all the money in fucking hacky sack or whatever that is.
That's a good point. I never really
I
thought
don't know.
about that way.
I don't know anything about the stock market.
I obviously don't either.
None of us know anything.
No.
Me, you?
No.
What about when you look at it like the NASDAQ is up? You're like,
Yay!
Yay, it's up. I don't like when it's down.
No,
That's what I say.
It's the worst.
That's
you
my
never want it down.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Either way, I'm broke. Doesn't really matter. Looking around, I noticed this Saturday, I don't know if you're aware of it, was 420. And so it was a madhouse over there.
It's April 20th?
No, 420. Yeah, it was April 20th, but 420. You know 420.
No, what's that?
How do you not know? You've never heard of 420? Well, it's a big deal. I mean, it's real popular in the culture right now, and everybody's wearing 420 shirts, and you see 420 bumper stickers, and everyone's talking about it. I frankly, I was a little embarrassed too.
Where did they come up? Why is it 420?
Well, I was wondering the same thing actually, because years ago I saw it for the first time, and I never bothered to look it up. But I figured since I'm on the podcast with you now as your sidekick, I thought I'd maybe research it.
You researched
researched
something?
420, the origin of 420. Finally answered my question.
We're not supposed to research anything.
Well, I was told differently.
Well, how am I supposed to carry on an intelligent conversation when I didn't research it?
I mean, you got a computer. Look, I'll be honest. I just Wikipedia'd it. You can just.
Okay, I'll fucking research it. What's it called?
I think I broke your computer, Daniel.
What is it? What is it?
Just dump it off the top of it, though. Dump it out.
You just go on Wikipedia. Go on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And go to 420.
Okay.
And then type in 420 origins, or just type in 420. That's all I did.
Okay, I got it.
All right, good. So now we're on the same page, right?
Right.
You're on there?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what they say. 420 is a code term used primarily in North America that refers to the consumption of cannabis and, by extension, a way to identify oneself with cannabis subculture.
That's not what mine says.
What does yours say?
Mine says 420 was the birthday of Austrian-born German politician and the leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, a fellow went by the name of Adolf Hitler.
Observances based on the number 420 include smoking cannabis around the time 4:20 p.m. as well as on the date April 20th.
No, what date is that? What year?
This was around 1970.
No, this is 1945. What kind of computer do you have?
It's a Mac, Norm. It's a Mac.
Mine's a Dell. I like a Dell.
I know, we covered that.
But this guy, there's a picture of him. Adolf Hitler, very compelling kind of a figure. Odd looking duck, but there's something about his eyes. Hypnotic.
Anyway, a widely discussed story says that a group of teenagers in San Rafael, California, used the term in connection to a fall 1971 plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop that they had learned about.
His eyes are almost entirely black. He was a decorated veteran of World War I. And he joined the war. Hold the fort. He hated Jews.
These guys, they plan to meet precisely.
You know what he reminds me of? Dave, my best
your
friend
buddy.
Dave.
Yeah, I know Dave.
That guy hates Jews.
He sure does. I hear about it all the time.
I'm thinking of breaking up our friendship.
It's probably a good idea.
But anyways, you know what? I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you, go suicide, kill him.
Yeah, it's like he died 50 years ago,
Did
probably.
he? I didn't even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Well, no, that's fine.
I wish I could find a Hitler of today and go kill him. We'll be back with Billy Bob Thornton. I finally saw it, I was like, holy God. And then this is what I like too about it. There's a million things to like about that movie, everybody knows. But that I think whatever you call him, a retard or whatever word you would use for Carl, killed a guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any other retard in any other movie ever killed a guy. And yet in real life, serial killers, I mean not serial killers, but killers of a lot, are sub-level IQ usually. They're not, you know what I mean? Like they usually portray the killer as Hannibal Lecter.
Like an evil genius.
Yeah. In real life, they're guys with 50 IQs. That
Right.
Did Lenny kill a guy, you think?
Well, Lenny killed rodents and
Right.
things.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess he killed a guy, didn't he? I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I know he. I think he petted a rabbit to
Yeah,
death.
he petted a rabbit to death.
Yeah.
That's not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why do you have to say any other example?
I apologize. What was your cross-country bus trip like?
Yeah, that's not...
the one, I know the one she's talking about. I had several. The one on this trip she's talking about, I just didn't have any money, I went from Little Rock to San Diego, it was in like 77, and there was this girl on the bus, and we stopped at the bus station, and when you're on the bus, they stop at like every little stop, they pick up mail, and you go in, and some of them have a buffet.
Right, right.
Well, they had some peach cobbler that looked great to me, and I was like this long-haired, skinny little freak, and starving to death all the time. And so this peach cobbler was pretty inviting, so I got it. My buddy Tom, who was with me, he said, I don't know if I'd eat that. It looks awful. We get back on the bus, and then when you go through West Texas, there's literally nothing until you get to this town called Big Spring, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going across the desert, and the bus driver always tells you the next stop is 250 miles or whatever. So it's at nighttime, and there's nothing out there. It's pitch black. And so I kept an eye on this girl who was sitting up in the front. I was sitting in the back being bothered by this guy who said he was going to pick up a truck somewhere and wanted to know if I wanted some whiskey. It was a bizarre guy. And anyway, it was the beginning of one of those movies, And why don't you come to my cabin? So anyway, this girl looked really good. And so I wanted to talk to her. I said to Tom, I think I'm going to go talk to the girl. He goes, why not? We're on a bus. She can't escape, So I go up and I sit down next to her, and I start talking to her, and she liked me, which was great. And so I just kept talking to her, and I think I told her I was in Thin Lizzy. But anyway, obviously not the singer.
It's Thin, right?
Thin Lizzy? Yeah, the band. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Phil in.
Yeah, right. And so one way or the other, I was trying to impress her, and I was trying to think of somebody that she might not know, but she kind of heard of. I couldn't say I was in the Beatles.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, while I'm sitting there with her, all of a sudden it felt like somebody had stabbed me in the gut, with a knife, and my stomach started making, the noises that there ain't no denying, what's happening, what I mean? And I mean, just horrible. God, it sounded like I had a wildcat in my stomach. And so, and then that moment hit me when I knew I've got awful food poisoning or something. This is not good. And if I don't get up now, it's going to be too late. And here I am sitting by the girl. Not a real good first impression. So I get up, and I can't show you here, but the legs together, ass squeeze walk. I'm doing that all the way down the bus aisle, And so I get to the bathroom, and the bathroom in a bus, it's just the little corner back there.
Right.
And there's a seat right next to it that's smaller than the other seats. It's like a two-person seat right here, and then no seats over here. So I go into the bathroom, just in the nick of time, seriously. Like literally on the way down to the toilet, I'm already spraying the place. And so I get down there, and there's the lock is off. There's no handle, there's no lock. The door just kind of goes like this, and there's this old couple sitting out there. And so I'm sitting in the toilet holding this little knob with 2 fingers, and people are trying to come in, you know, when you're in the bathroom, people are trying to do it. So I've got it with 2 fingers, they got a whole handle out there. So they get to open it like that far, you know what I mean? And so then they see me sitting there, you know, looking like Charles Manson. And one way or the other, just nasty, horrible explosions, and, you know, a very, very bad trip. And then there was no toilet paper.
Oh.
Used my underwear, they went in the trash can, and then pulled my pants back up and went back by Tom, and never saw the girl until we got to Big Spring. And I didn't, you know, go up to her or anything. I just went in the bathroom and sort of cleaned myself up. But it was, I mean, most people won't tell stories on themselves like that, but I don't really give a shit.
I love it. When you win the Lincoln Center Award, you should tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? If I ever get to meet, like, you know, the Pope or somebody like that, I'll say, hey, check this out. I got this crazy story. You're not going to believe this.
Yeah. Hey, you worked with Burt Reynolds.
Yes, I did work
on
with
the
Burt Reynolds.
TV show. Right?
Yeah, on Evening Shade. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any crazy Burt Reynolds stories?
No, not really, because Burt, Burt had some wild times and everything. For some reason, he kind of took me under his wing, and he always liked me, and he actually helped me a lot in the beginning, and he was always really good to me. He did hit me one time live in front of an audience, and I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't say my lines.
Slap?
He hit me with an open hand, but in the lung, and he's got arms like Popeye, those big forearms. And in the thing, I'm supposed to hit him. I'm supposed to slap him on the back and say something which pisses him off or whatever. And I come out there before the live audience, and when we rehearsed it, he said, I'm an old stunt man, so hit me as hard as you can. And I guess I hit him really hard because his natural reaction, I guess, was to hit me in the lung. And I couldn't talk, and they had to sort of suspend the big show for a few minutes while I got my breath back. But other than that, yeah, he was always really good to me.
Yeah, I always try to get him. Like whenever I had anything, I go get Burt Reynolds. Like he'd be the coolest. And then people go, no, you don't want to work with him. He's crazy. And then I go, no, I do want to work with him. I don't want to fucking work with you. Yeah, right. like crazy. It seems like such a dismissive. Don't you think like people have been denied work and shit just because people go, that guy's crazy?
Yeah.
And it has no meaning to it really.
Yeah.
It usually means creative to me or something.
That's right.
Or he's difficult. Who wants to work with some fucking simpleton?
Right.
You know what I mean? But it seems in Hollywood like
That's usually the case.
Yeah.
I found that, yeah. I found that usually when somebody says, oh, you don't want to work with this person or that person, they're very difficult. It usually means they don't want to do stupid shit. They want everything to be right. And, I mean, maybe not all cases, but, and like you said, usually when they say, oh, somebody's crazy, but craziness is part of being an actor. I mean, whatever they call crazy. I mean, you wouldn't want to get like a guy like Jeffrey Dahmer or something like that. I mean, you wouldn't want anybody who might eat you at lunchtime, but that was his name, right? Jeffrey Dahmer?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, got killed by a broomstick raped to death.
Really? That's
They say it's one of the worst ways to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. On the list of the 1,000 ways. Yeah,
they say drowning is very peaceful.
Right.
Broomstick rape.
Not good. Yeah. Well, how did you and Norm meet? I said, I always would end up, it's not like we hung out at, the deli every night together, but Norm and I always ended up at these functions that we kind of had to be at. And I said, well, probably the way Norm and I really bonded was because we were the only other person that we wanted to talk to there. Right. Like we'd just end up in the corner talking to each other because we'd be looking around thinking, why are we here? When we did Armageddon, it was like the first time I'd ever been in a big movie, and so I was sitting there with Owen Wilson, and Owen, not many people knew Owen at the time. He wasn't as big a deal yet, and Steve Buscemi was there, and Will Patton, and we were all sitting over here, And here's like, you know, Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay and Bruce Willis and all these cats. And I was sitting over there, and Buscemi was looking over at Owen, and he was looking at me, and all of a sudden Buscemi looks at me and he goes, "What the fuck are we doing here?"
That's a great Buscemi.
That's a good Buscemi impression.
Your OCD, does it get worse when you get stressed, like when stress increases, right?
It's worse when you don't have anything to do. Mm-hmm. You know, as long as you can focus on something, you're okay.
Right.
But there was a guy who had, what's the thing where you bark?
Tourette's.
Yeah, Tourette's, yeah. I knew a guy who had Tourette's, you know, which is a really bad affliction. I mean, it must take up a lot of energy, you know, and everything. And there was some cat, I think up in the northern states somewhere, I can't remember, but he was a theater actor. And as long as he was on stage, he didn't bark. But as soon as he came off stage, he would bark, and he was also an archer. And so he would like he would bark, and he would draw a bead on the bullseye, hit the bullseye. It was great, you know. And as soon as he would hit the thing, then he would throw his head back and start cussing and barking and stuff. It was pretty funny, yeah.
I could watch that guy for hours.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I can do stand-up, and then when I walk through the crowd, I'm all freaked out.
Right.
And then I'm on stage. But when I'm on stage, I just feel alone. I think that's why. And I don't look at anyone, and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And I'm in complete control.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm talking to myself.
So that's not scary being a stand-up for you.
No. You know what? I think like people's fear, like they always go like, number one fear, public speaking.
Right.
To me, it would be bowel cancer or something. Like I sometimes.
That's good.
Sometimes I'll go like I'll be in a cab and then I'm talking to the guy's the funniest guy I've ever met. You know, he's like, I don't know how you do it. You know, I'm like, what the? You're way the fuck funnier than me. But I'm glad you think it's so
great.
difficult. You know,
right.
Because if it wasn't, like, you know, I think of all my relatives that were great anecdotalists and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
But there's this feeling that they can't do it. You know.
Right.
Of course you can.
I read, a little off topic, I had to ask you this. I read that you trained your parrot by playing Captain Beefheart album. I'm a huge Captain Beefheart fan. And I don't know, is that true? Or a bird?
I just wanted to see what would happen. Yeah, I had a minor bird.
Minor birds?
Yeah.
They're better than parrots.
Yeah, they're better because they can really talk. Yeah. Well, supposedly those African gray parrots can just talk to you like, you know, anybody. You'd be like you're sitting here talking with, you know, Mel Brooks or something, and there's this parrot, you know. But yeah, mine was a minor bird, and her name was Alice. She died about 4 years ago. She was she lived, you know, 10 or 12 years. A great bird, and she was. I had a roommate who hated my girlfriend, and the bird would say, we can say whatever we want, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So the bird would say, "God damn it, I wish she'd get out of here." Because he would hear my roommate.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the inflection was good too. It was like, "God damn it," you know, just like my roommate. And but yeah, I had to be gone one time, and I put on this loop of Captain Beefheart. And she had a couple of things that sort of had that sort of Captain Beefheart sound, you know, that thing, you know, and she did a couple of things like that.
That's pretty cool.
But I just wanted to see what she would do if I played Captain Beefheart. I was supposed to play this bird CD that I got with her, you know, but I didn't play that. It was just kind of boring.
What if you came back one day and your minor bird was like, fuck me hard before my husband, Billy Bob Thornton, comes back home. That'd be bad. That's why I would never
that was in a movie, wasn't it? Where like it was in a Pink Panther movie, I think, where the parrot told him where like the bad guy was or something because he was in there listening.
One of the Peter Sellers one?
Yeah,
oh,
I think that was in one of those.
No, the Steve Martin one.
You know, it was I was referring to the cartoon or the movie.
That was good. There's something that actors say to each other sometimes, and like even or producers or whoever they are, and maybe the public even says it, but they'll say they'll say, you really made some brave choices, and that was really brave of you to play that part. And I always thought, are you shitting me? But they get real serious.
Yeah.
It's like the people that stand there and look at a painting of a fucking stick or something and go, we see it's like before the universe expanded and no, it's not. It's like some guy who really sold a bill of goods to you assholes. That's what it is. It's like because it has his name on it. If I told you I painted that, you'd say, fuck you, you prick, that's horrible, you know, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But like, because, you know, Jean blah, 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 blah did it, it's like, look at that stick. Pretty amazing, right?
I used to do that with, because I think sometimes you think up something wise, right?
Right.
Just every person.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would say, like, so I'd think of something that was sort of wise sounding. Like, one time I thought of this thing, better sorry than safe. Right. So I told my buddy, I go, I thought this thing, I think it's pretty wise. Like, better sorry than safe. He's like, it sucks. So then I'm like, so now what I do if I think of it, I'll go, as Benjamin Franklin once said, better sorry than safe. And they'll go, yeah, that's good. Then I'll go, I said it, you fucker.
Right, exactly, yeah. It would be great if we had, I mean, well, yeah, like that thing about being brave as a performer or whatever.
Or generous.
Generous is another one, you know. But if, you know, it's brave to like chase a guy down who's stolen a woman's purse and beat her up and, you know, and you get stabbed a few times in the gut. That's brave.
Extremely.
You know, it's not brave to play, I don't know, George Washington or something like that, you know, did you see his Washington? You know, his Washington.
His Washington. You know, people like pigeonhole you. This is going to sound retarded, but Adam Egan knows this. My dream is to be a country music writer.
It's true.
So I write all this country music, and then once, I'm friends with Billy Joe Shaver.
Oh, me too, yeah.
Isn't he the greatest guy ever?
The best.
And I wrote, it took me like 2 weeks to write the song to send to him, and then I didn't send it. Because his songs are so fucking good. And then I felt weird sending this graffiti over to him.
Oh, you should send it to
I
him.
should send it.
I thought you did send it.
I never sent it. I cowered it out.
Yeah, you did.
I talked to him.
I'm a yeller.
Because I go on the road doing stand-up, and I phone him, and he's on the road doing even worse gigs than me. Like, I go, where are you? He's like, I'm at Knuckle Busters. And
I know.
You're a fight going on in the back and shit.
That's the shame
and
of
this guy's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the classic guys, you know, who are out there, like Billy Joe. There's a lot of cats in Texas, especially, you know, Joe Ely and Billy Joe and people like that, and Jimmy Vaughn. A lot of guys who are just classics, and they're only known in like these cult circles, you know, and he's one of the greatest songwriters ever. And like you said, you'll see him playing at a place with like 60 people, and the guy won't give him his money at the end of the night and stuff like that, you know.
No, it's amazing.
You'd probably give him his money.
The stories I've heard, I would definitely give him his money.
But you know, people hate country. You know, like sometimes people go like, country music, just your dog died and your wife left you and you're a drunk. And I'm like, well, that's life. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you have to understand, these are really smart people telling you that.
Yeah.
These are the people that like Pitbull. These are the people that think it's better to write one line and repeat it over and over in a song. That's a lot better.
It's all right to be very prejudiced against Southerners, right? I mean, did you feel that when you were in the South?
Oh yeah, I still feel it's. I mean, there's a prejudice in Hollywood against Southerners for sure. Yeah,
the way they're portrayed.
Yeah, because for one thing, they let anybody portray Southerners. It doesn't matter. In other words, it's hard for me to get a job playing a guy from the Bronx, but you can get a guy from the Bronx to play a Southerner just like that, and everybody thinks it's okay. And then they say, "Did you see that?" And he's doing that accent that doesn't exist. You know that. Well, listen here, I'm the chef, and boy, by this evening, I'm going to get you. And it's like. I grew up down there. I never heard anybody talk like that except on a cartoon, you know.
Brave performance.
Yeah, it was. Now that's brave.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously though.
Yeah, right.
It's shocking, but it's okay. They're allowed to do that.
Bill Bob's a vegan.
I didn't know that. I wish I could be a vegan.
Well,
Bill Bob's a vegan.
I didn't know that. I wish I could be a vegan.
Well, sort of.
I read in his book, but he hangs out in his backyard wanting to shoot a squirrel's eye out at 40 feet.
Yeah, but that's just. My father was killed by a squirrel, and so I have, you know, no.
Oh,
but no, but yeah, I'm a vegan mainly because I'm allergic to so much. I'm allergic to wheat and dairy and shellfish and different things like that.
So that's not ethical at all.
Not really. I mean, and I do eat meat occasionally. I have turkey occasionally, and my little girl, she's 8, she won't let me eat fish because she has fish. And so every time she gets another animal, you can't eat it then. So for some reason, she doesn't give a shit about cows or turkeys. So that you can eat that if you want, but no fish, no chicken. No.
Norm, he looked at a couple of the comments. He gathered a bunch of comments from the people on YouTube, and they said some pretty hurtful things.
Are you gonna play it?
Well, yeah, I thought we maybe
show them what it's. Show them what you're talking about.
Let's roll the clip.
I care about the folks at home.
Right.
Daniel Kellison gave me a big bunch of comments. This first one is from MonkFan72. He says, I love this podcast. It was great to see Norm MacDonald back, and Super Dave was the perfect choice as first guest. Lose the douchebag.
He's talking about me.
Well, we don't know if he's talking about
He's clearly talking about me.
He is talking about you.
Let's hear another one then.
All right.
Let's hear another one.
What's the deal with that fucking douchebag?
Are there any good ones?
I'll look.
Okay.
Not good. I found one.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a positive one. Thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom.
Great.
One minor problem. The set.
Oh.
It's just too distracting. Why are there so many clocks? We're not tuning in to see what time it is in Hong Kong. We're tuning in to listen to comedians doing comedy. Plus some douchebag, I don't know who he was, but I like to punch him right in the fucking face.
That's what you think. We don't even know what the people think, right?
It's crazy. You know, well, first of all, here's what I would say. My advice to you, think about what douchebags get to do. Think about how, you know what I mean?
I do.
I would embrace it. I would embrace the whole douchebag thing because that seemed to be the term that kept popping up. And I would just go with it. I mean, if you're going to be a douchebag, be the best douchebag you can be.
Best douchebag I can be. That's great advice, actually.
You're
you know,
exactly.
I
watch old '70s shows and shit, and it's amazing how real time everything is. Like Frank Cannon will get in his car, drive. You see the car, then the car parks. He gets out, finds out, like everything. There's no quick.
Oh no, never. And Cannon was fantastic because Cannon weighed 400 pounds, and he would catch these guys. I mean, he's going down the alley with his 38 up in the air like this, huffing and puffing, you know, and he was gigantic, and he would catch like these 2, 18-year-old armed robbers or something, bust their heads together, and then go back and have a cigarette and say, well, that was a good day's work or whatever, and then freeze frame on him and a cheeseburger,
Then he went on to Jake and the Fat Man.
Right, exactly.
Which was, I always thought that would be a tough call for the agent.
Yeah, it is.
What's my character?
You remember Dramalog, right? It's like Dramalog. You know about Dramalog?
I don't.
Well, Dramalog was like the actors' sort of want ads, or I guess you might say, and for theater especially, but then TV shows and movies. And in those days, we didn't know that if they are advertising in Dramalog, this is not a real part, and it's not in a real movie. I mean, maybe sometimes, but we would look through there, and it would have these descriptions, and we used to think about like Pals virus. It would describe a guy that's like, this hideously ugly 6'6" creep, whatever. And the guy who's sitting at home and looking through the magazine, he goes, "That's me." Finally, a part for a hideous 6'6" creep, and so. And I would always, look through there for things for me, and I was like, a guy who just got here from Arkansas, or whatever.
I always wonder why they had to be so cruel in the credits, ugly fat pig. It's like, well,
yeah.
And we have a question from, look at these crazy names they have on the internet. Edward Smith. So he says, Billy, do you have any weight loss tips for Norm? I've become a big fat guy. I thought it was
a big fat guy.
I gained 45 pounds since
really?
It was my New Year's resolution. I decided it's so hard to keep New Year's resolutions. Why not go for one you'll? I've been eating and eating. It's sort of fun, but now I'm losing my breath a little.
Yeah, that happens because your diaphragm's pushed up into here. Yeah, that's all it is. But I mean, simple stuff is like two of the things that are the worst are the ones I'm allergic to: wheat and dairy.
Yeah.
Like if you eat a lot
blessed.
of pasta, you know, like if you eat a lot of pasta and bread, that's one of the bad things. You know, it puts a lot of weight on you.
Fish sticks.
Yeah, fish sticks would probably, anything fried would be pretty bad.
Because those goddamn
Because you
packages
love
of fish
those, don't you?
sticks, I love them, and they don't say when you're supposed to stop on the side.
They don't. That's what we need. We need more warnings. But if you, stop the wheat and dairy for a while, see what happens. And also, you know, if you want to, like if you have to look a little thinner, like suddenly for something, if you want your face to do that, put squeeze lemons in your water.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did have advice.
And take cayenne pepper. Eat a lot of cayenne pepper.
Didn't Dr. Doug have a thrombary embolism from cayenne pepper?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't even know what Dr. Doug is. No. Hey, this is where we do the jokes.
Nice. I think there's nothing cooler than being a lone wolf, except at wolf picnics when you don't have a partner for the wolf wheelbarrow races.
From her California home, the mother of 14 children packed up and left their property in Palmdale after being asked to leave for not paying her rent for the month of April. The single parent, whose real name is Nadia Suleman, exited leaving a huge mess and the stench of urine inside the pad. Wait, it says here the urine has been traced back to Adam Egget.
I don't know.
A Georgia high school is planning to merge their formerly all-black and all-white proms into a single event. The theme of this June's dance, an evening of unbridled race war. That's pretty good.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I have a deal. What are they called there, where you get to have sex with a certain list of people? I should have put that on there. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know. So my girlfriend and I have a deal where we have one celebrity that we can sleep with, and it's not considered cheating. Mine is that woman who plays Medea.
I don't know that.
It's Tyler Perry.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. So, no. Yeah. In Kansas, a gay rights activist named Aaron Jackson paid $83,000 to buy a house across from the homophobic Westboro Baptist Church and had it painted rainbow colors. Mr. Jackson plans to recoup his investment by, well, actually, there's no plan. Have fun living in a hideous house in Kansas across from some vicious bigots. That's pretty good.
It's Earth Day, the one day of the year where you can jerk off outside and nothing bad can happen. I don't know what Earth Day is.
I'm not sure.
Not sure what Earth is. All right. So much of these are gay.
A new study shows that most men can identify a gay man by his face alone. It's the face that's buried in another man's asshole.
All right, Billy Bob Thornton's been our guest. Thanks a lot, Billy Bob. You're the best.
So nice to meet you.
Peace. Thank you for watching, everyone. Next week, Larry King. For updates, subscribe right here.
For obvious reasons, we lost Norm MacDonald this week, which was just, you know, I had no idea that he was even sick. And he's a guy that I knew a little bit. I was definitely friendly with him. If we saw each other, we said hello and we shot the shit, but it wasn't like someone that I talked to on the phone or anything. And I was such a huge fan of his, and I would just always end up running into him. And he just always had that smile on his face. Like as you talk to him, he would have that smile. Just a really great, warm guy. And I remember I was trying to think what Norm's story to tell you. This one isn't necessarily funny. It was just sort of random. I went out to go see Bill Cosby in concert right before all the bullshit happened out in Pasadena. And he played this theater out there, which interestingly enough was where they had the 25th anniversary of Motown celebration, which is the first place Michael Jackson publicly did the moonwalk. I saw Bill Cosby at that theater. And I remember they had it all set up where, like, he almost built him like a little living room. He had like an Archie Bunker type chair, a little square rug, and then like a side table where he put his water. And he just came walking out, and there was the mic. There was no mic stand. It was just sitting on the chair, and he just came out. You know how he kind of walked a little bent over? Came walking out, waved to everybody, sat down, picked up the mic, and for like almost 2 hours, just, hour and a half, just killed. Just fucking killed. Had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Masterclass of stand-up, right? So I leave with my lovely wife, and I go out front, and who's standing there is Norm MacDonald. He was like, hey, Bill, hey, how you doing? And I talked. It was like, no, what's going on? I was so psyched that he knew my name and all of that stuff, and I think I had met him before. And then we just stood there talking about comedy and how amazing it was to see Bill Cosby and how good he still was. Like I said, this was before all the bullshit happened. And my admiration for the guys, it went even higher. That I understood why I was there, but I thought Norm was so good that he didn't need to be there, and he was still there, still trying to learn and everything. And I was thinking, like, wow, this is why this guy is so fucking amazing. And he's just was somebody that you couldn't just watch one video of him. Like, I was saying to Verzi how, like, guys like Ric Flair, Norm MacDonald, there's a few people, if you click on their videos, it's like, say goodbye to the next 2 hours of your life, because everything that they did is so interesting and so different and so funny. And one of my favorite Norm MacDonald things that he ever did, because so many people like pretend that they don't give a fuck, both in my business and in other businesses. You got I don't give a fuck. Hey, me, I don't give a fuck. Those people that advertise them. Like, that guy clearly, in the best way, didn't give a fuck. He really cared about people and stuff, but like he did what he wanted to do. And when he was on SNL, how big a gig that was, because there was so few channels, the internet hadn't blown up yet. And even with basic cable and everything, I mean, it was still, if you were on Saturday Night Live and you were doing Weekend Update, it was one of the most coveted gigs a comedian could have. And you were part of this lineage of, at that point it was, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, right on through to Dennis Miller's reign when he did it. And did Colin Quinn come after? I think Colin came after, but it was always just like the best of the best comics that they had doing it, and continued on with Tina Fey and all of them. And no one's walking away from that job. I mean, if some suit at NBC tells you they don't like the jokes you're doing and be funnier, you're shaking in your. I'd be like, oh fuck, I'm going to lose this big gig. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to piss these people off or whatever. I guess he was doing all those OJ jokes, and I forget how the story went. There was somebody there that knew OJ or something, and was telling Norm to back off and move on to something else. So what does Norm do? He just doubles down, and he just does even more OJ jokes, which is like, the balls that took to do that. And he ended up losing the gig. He got fired. And people loved him, and he was fucking hilarious, but he didn't back down to the big fucking guy over there, and he ended up losing the gig. So, as luck would have it, I think it was Dirty Work, came out like a year and a half later or so. So he has to promote it, and he's on the press thing. So Lauren has him back and has him host the show. And I remember he went out there, and his opening joke, he just comes out. And he was just like, something like this. Yeah, it's good to be back. I actually got fired from this show about a year and a half ago because they said I wasn't funny. And now here I am. I'm hosting the show. So that means one of two things. Either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks. And then he had that big shit-eating grin on his face, and he started laughing. And then he proceeded to do a bunch of OJ jokes.
Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later.
And it was just like that fucking thing about him. And the whole time, I just felt the whole time when people were fucking with him or whatever and trying to take what he had, he always just still had that smile on his face, and he just still did exactly what he wanted to do. And I got so much respect for him. And I feel so fortunate that I got to see him live. So I remember, oh my God, I saw him right after 9/11. The Aspen after 9/11. Aspen Comedy Festival was this big fucking festival that was always a nightmare to get in and out of. Every year it would snow and people would get stuck in Denver, or you get snowed in, you couldn't get out. It was a fucking nightmare. And then as a comedian, you had to perform. It was like a mile higher than fucking Denver. And no one could breathe, and you're performing in front of all these super fucking rich people in front of industry, and you just go up and you would eat your fucking balls, and you're like, why did I come out here? And I remember I saw Joe Rogan do a full set that I still remember, and then I saw Norm MacDonald. It was at the same theater, and I remember Norm came out, and he was doing bits on racial profiling and all of this stuff. I'm not going to butcher the guy's bits, but I remember just watching that full set, and I was like, this guy is one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen in my life. And I thought that every time I saw him. And I don't know, it was a pleasure to know the guy, even on a little level. Just a massive, massive, massive loss to not have him around. And especially now with all of this stupid fucking cancel culture horseshit that is going on, which has way, way, way overstepped its bounds, as it always happens. No matter who's behind it, it always ends up, starting off with something that makes sense, and then there becomes the overreach, and then it just becomes like, hey, is it me, or did you literally become what the fuck you were trying to stop? And we, I don't know, as a comedian, really needed a guy like Norm out there to be eviscerating it and making fun of it and still doing what the fuck you want to do. So if there's any other young comics out there, if you want to see how it's done, watch that guy, because he was the real deal. All right? So once again, rest in peace to the great Norm MacDonald. Just truly, without a doubt, one of the greatest stand-up comedians I ever saw in my life. And just such a great guy. And it's just so sad that he won't be around anymore. But I actually got off the plane in a better mood from just watching literally the beauty of who he was and his work. When I got off the plane, I was actually like, I don't know, there's something about him. I just thought he understood life. Just a really warm guy. God damn it. It's always those guys that go. So there's your lesson. Don't be nice. You'll live forever. All right.
Does President Clinton have a bent penis? Well, according to a doctor who examined him last week, the president's genitals are, quote, completely 100% normal. It should be noted, however, that the doctor who examined him also has a bent penis. That may color his findings a little. As his last stop on the trip, the president met in Buenos Aires Thursday with Argentinian President Carlos Menem. During the meeting, Clinton asked Menem to continue with economic reform and protect democratic freedoms. Menem, in turn, asked Clinton to show him his bent penis. Tomorrow, Chinese President Jiang Zemin begins a week-long visit that could define U.S. relations with China for years to come. President Clinton plans to ask Jiang for several things, including human rights reform, trade expansion, and a Chinese herb said to have the power to straighten a bent penis. This week, an angry President Clinton demanded that Congress stop dragging its feet on something he has long championed, a medical bill of rights for U.S. citizens. In all, there are 10 items in the President's Bill of Rights, running from number 1, a rich, satisfying sex life is the foundation of good health, to number 10, a straight penis is not a privilege, it is a right.
I have to know one thing before you go today. I know there are other questions, but you say that you there were distinguishing characteristics on the president's private parts. For America, please tell us what that is. Well, we've got to know.
Well, it was like that.
Oh, God.
It was.
It turned. Okay, that was it. Thank you.
He's like the guy, and you're like the little
What
guy.
Little guy.
I'm
You're
like
the
Aaron
skinny
Paul,
guy.
and you're like Cranston.
Yeah, you're Cranston, and you're the other guy.
Yeah, I'm the little shit.
And you just throw him around.
You're on a show that almost was the precursor for
it definitely was a
precursor.
That's a good word.
Yeah. Because that's in Breaking Bad. But
Yeah.
also Weeds was like kind of
broke down the door for Breaking Bad.
Broke down the door
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Breaking Bad, he says. You watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It's pretty good.
You seen it all the way through?
I haven't. I'm a
Oh,
little
you
behind.
haven't?
I'm a little behind.
It's interesting that people are at different levels of everything now.
Yeah.
You can't. You can only do that today. You couldn't do that 5 years ago.
What's
With
that?
Netflix, you know, to be behind it, it's like you missed a show. Guess what? You're not watching it. Until
Yeah,
it comes
right.
on
They
Nick at
release-
Night in a few years.
Yeah,
In the
House
old
of
days.
Cards is
Yeah,
all.
before that, they didn't even have TVs.
Before
That's true.
TVs, you
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
Yeah.
You're saying before TVs?
Yeah, nobody
there
talked
were
about
no
Bryan
TVs.
Cranston.
I read a great article in the New Yorker magazine which talked about the last episode, saying that, in fact, Walt dies in the car, and that the rest of the episode, when he actually hits the snow and the keys drop from the visor,
Right.
that in fact becomes kind of a whole fantasy of how Walt wants to see everything end. But in
Fantasy
fact-
dream sequence ending, yes
Sure,
or no?
sure.
Which I thought was really good, and I just wanted to...
That is interesting. There's a comic, a comedian named Norm MacDonald who I think was sort of promulgating that, and I think he has a webcast I'm going to go on at, podcast I'm going to go on at some point to talk about.
Norm's tone was distinctive and unique, yes.
And nobody did that.
Nobody did what Norm did. You know what I mean? I talk about Norm in the show too. It's funny, and one of the things is Norm would talk people, like we'd talk to some strange way, small talking people, and he'd be like, and then the guy'd be like, "You're right, I'm quitting the job." And he'd walk out, and then Norm would go to me, "I didn't tell him to quit that job." Like, yes, you did. But Norm's whole world was not just, he was making fun of you. You were part of this, the
Right.
suckers too.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I mean, you're telling me, he would just spring you in.
It was that brilliant podcast he had with Adam Egan.
Yes.
Where it's just, yeah.
Well, I went to Norm's, his memorial service,
Yeah.
and Adam Egan spoke, and he killed. It was all these professional comedians.
Yeah.
Adam Egan went up and he goes, "I love Norm MacDonald, even though if you Google me today, it says Holocaust denier. Adam Egan as the first thing." And he went on about Norm, but it was him with Adam Egan was perfect because the guests didn't know that. Like half the guests Norm would go, I mean, I agree with you. Not like this guy thinks the Holocaust didn't happen. And the guests would be, you could see their angry eyes, like, what? And Adam would just sit there and take it. And the guests would leave the show thinking this guy's a Holocaust denier.
Yeah, there was nothing funnier than when Norm
Yeah.
was like, yeah, this guy fucking didn't think the Holocaust happened.
So fun. And just blow past it, and the guests would look. You could see them looking angrily.
And then Norm would move on, which
Yes.
is the other brilliant part of
Yes.
the bit. Norm would just keep going, and then the guys would just sneak a look at Adam like, what the fuck's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was, and Adam, to his credit, didn't. Sometimes he tried to deny it. Usually, he just take the hit.
Yeah.
And that person the rest of their life.
That's so funny.
He's Jewish.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay, then you'll get it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Half Jewish.
No, I'm full.
Full Jewish.
Full Jewish. All right, then. But you're young, so you might not get it.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's the joke.
Holocaust denier.
I'm also.
I'm not going to hold that against you.
Thank you.
I don't understand what complex mathematics is, but one time I was in an elevator with Norm MacDonald, and we're in the elevator with these guys, because Norm MacDonald in an elevator is very, he'll he will literally say the worst thing you can say about somebody and then leave, and you're left there with all the people. That's his thing, one of his things. But there's two guys who were talking about some complex mathematic thing. This is in the late 90s at 30 Rock. And they're saying this, I didn't even understand what language it was. It was a really deep mathematic thing. And then Norm MacDonald, who had never brought up math or anything like that to me in his life, goes, and starts speaking to them in this, what sounded like tongues. And they're like, oh, but, and they start speaking the binary, and he goes, and he starts speaking this mathematic talk, and then they leave. And then he goes to me like, yeah, those guys are nerds or something like that. And I was like, what? How do you know that? How did you know what they were talking about?
How did he know?
He's like,
He's a nerd too.
He knows something deep, he knows these things sometimes.
He's a very smart guy.
Really smart.
Yeah.
One of those guys that just, he'll just pretend not to know something. And he'll be like, that's and then you're like, what? Anybody walks in the room, he knows what they're talking about,
Yeah, he's the guy that really should have had a podcast a long fucking time ago.
Right,
and I know
right.
he's doing something now. He sent me a text message the other day that he's starting to do
Joe.
a podcast now.
Hey, Joe,
I'm
doing a podcast.
Doing that thing we talked about. He should have done a lot because he had that show on Netflix, but they muzzled him when he went on the Howard Stern show.
Right.
And he was saying something, and he didn't want to say retarded, so he said, you'd have to have Down syndrome to believe that. Because he thought that'd be a better thing to say.
But here's the thing about Norm. I'm still not sure if he thought that would be a better thing to say.
Right, you never know.
Because he's so smart. He might have been doing it as a double troll.
Yeah.
No, Norm is capable of the double troll. It's like, I don't want to say retarded. Down syndrome.
The double troll, exactly.
Yes, he's the master of that stuff.
I randomly wound up sitting next to him on planes twice. On two different occasions, just I go, Norm, out of nowhere, and he's sitting next to me. And one time, we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're having a good old time. And then he's talking about, I quit smoking. He's telling me how he quit smoking and finally quit smoking. And he's telling me all these things. And then when he lands, he literally, he can't stop himself, runs into the airport store and buys cigarettes. And he's lighting it as he's leaving. I go, I thought you quit. He goes, I did. But all that talking about smoking makes me want one. And he's like, before he even got out the door, he's lighting the cigarette. He just couldn't stop himself.
But he goes, all that talking. He's the one talking about it. All that talking. He always puts it on you. That's what's great about it.
But
he's like, this guy talks about smoking. He got me back smoking.
But it was so crazy because I was like, that's great, Norm. It's so great you quit. And he's like, fuck, I want a cigarette.
Yeah. No, he always do I don't drink, I quit drinking. And it was like, oh, really? Did you drink a lot? Yeah. I quit. I finally had to quit, It's hard, but I did it. And they're like, oh. He goes, yeah, because I got fucking wasted last night. And I said, I'm never going to drink again. I was drunk. And people are like, wait, I thought you quit. Yeah, I quit. That's what I'm saying. He's always...
Last night?
Yeah. It's like an elaborate, Abbott and Costello routine.
Yes, exactly. Well, the gambling, too. He fucking loves gambling. Yeah. Loves it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's a thing. A lot of these great comics are, really impulsive.
Yeah.
It's something about, the ability to say some of the crazy shit that he says.
Yeah.
You have to have this hot wire.
Yeah.
It's just you just want to touch it. Ah!
Yep. Oh, no, he's one for the books.
Yeah.
on the subject of SNL, and it's sweet when you took over for Norm, and Gilbert and I haven't said anything. Gilbert, I don't know. Have you spoken publicly since Norm passed about him, Gil?
I think I don't know if
We haven't said anything on this show,
Yeah.
which we would like to do now. You both knew him well, but the bartender speech when you took over, and obviously it was a very awkward period for you.
Oh God!
To be stepping into that role, and also a friend's job.
Yes, yeah. It was like we lived in the same building too.
You know how you go to your favorite bar and your local bartender isn't there? You ask, where's Jeff? Jeff no longer works here, I'm Steve. And you're thinking, hey, who's this idiot? I like Jeff, but you still want your drink? And even though Steve doesn't mix your drink the same way you're used to, like Jeff, you still like the bar, you don't have to go to a different bar. And even Steve might feel kind of bad because Jeff trained him.
Did he ever say anything to you about that? Did he ever give you a
He
blessing?
was so but he was so classy in not saying anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all.
You have that great I'm Steve, what can I get you?
Yeah.
The bartender piece.
Well, I'm Steve. What can I get you?
But I wish it would have stayed the way it was. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Norm is he's so funny. He was so distinctively funny. You know,
Nobody
he's got a
like
lot of-
him, really.
No, he had his own thing. You know what I mean? He was just very well, like Gilbert. I mean, they just have their own. They march to their own drummer, even in a business where everybody marches to their own drummer. They both have that, you know, idiosyncratic thing where it just be like, this is how I am, and that's it, and it's great. But you know, you have to tune to their frequency. You know, it's not like you can just, you know.
You know what's funny about that first update you did? Here's Norm being fired, as we all know, by Don Ohlmeyer,
Right.
because of cutting too close to the bone with the OJ jokes. When in fact he was doing a public service by telling those OJ jokes. And I'm watching you do your first update. There's an OJ joke. It's like the third joke.
Yeah.
In the February issue of Esquire magazine, O.J. Simpson said that if I had killed Nicole, it would have been because I loved her very much. And then he said, and if I had killed Ron Goldman, it would have been because he accidentally witnessed me loving Nicole very much. Somebody should buy this guy a John Gray book, all right?
You shook his hand once, OJ? Getting out of a car?
Well, I was
or he was getting out of a limo?
He was getting out of a limo middle of the afternoon, and I have no psychic energy. I've never had those kinds of things, you know. But for whatever reason, this was in an afternoon. He's getting out of a limo with a girl. It's spring break. It's packed with people. It's Florida. And they're like, hey, do you want to meet OJ? I go, yeah, OJ, it's greatest running back of all time. You know, great, charming movie star. I shake his hand. He shakes my hand. And he's not even looking at me. He's looking past me. And he shakes my hand. And I felt like a joke of like evil. I swear to God.
It's like the Dead Zone.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And I was like, that was weird, OJ. I love OJ. Well, that was weird energy, you know.
Wow. So you picked up on something.
I feel like I did, you know. It's, of course, in retrospect, but I remember telling people at the time, so.
I was also fond of, going back to your SNL bits, Colin Quinn explains the New York Times.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the St. Pat's editorial and Joe Blow. You look like you were having fun, and the best stuff is you and Norm together.
That's right. That's
you know,
right.
There's obviously an affection that comes across on the screen.
Yes, yeah, and that was the early days of it. It was great.
I'm sorry we never managed to get him here. We tried, and for whatever reason, he was as elusive as you.
He's more elusive. He's like,
he was.
I love to do it. I'd love to. You're like, oh, good. How about next week? Yes. What day? And you're like, okay. Yeah. He's like, all right, call him and we'll set it up. Next week is perfect because I'm doing this. And you're like, hey, I'll say Norm. Years later, what happened? What? I thought I was going to come on your show. What happened? It's like, oh, Jesus, Norm.
Well, like you say, march to his own drum.
Yeah.
Well, the magazine POV came out this week with a list of the best and worst jobs to have in the next century. Their three best were, in this order, multimedia software designer, management consultant, and interactive advertising executive. While their worst, for the third year in a row, crack whore. Finally, in U.S. News and World Report's list of the best and worst jobs for 1996 is out. Last year's best job, multimedia software consultant, was replaced by a new best job, bioindustrial engineer. And in the worst job category, last year's winner, crack whore, has lost its spot. The new worst job is assistant crack whore. Finally, according to the U.S. News and World Report 1997 Career Guide, the best job in the United States for the second year in a row is interactive business system analyst. However, last year's worst job, assistant crack whore, has been replaced by a new worst job, crack whore trainee. That's the... I swear to God, this one will really do well. This one concerns a fella that won the lottery. And he was a garbage man. He won the lottery. He won the New York State lottery. And he won like $8 million. And he said he's not going to quit his job. And you've always heard that, right?
Right. I'm going to keep my job.
I'm going to keep my job. And there's only one occupation where the person does not keep his job when he
wins the lottery.
Wins the lottery. You know what that occupation is?
No.
Crack whore.
That was amazing. You pulled it out. I was worried about you for a minute. I thought you were in deep trouble. I thought you might get backed into a corner, have a lot more pressure on you, and then not have anything.
I know.
But the pitch came in low and towards the middle, and you put it out of the park.
No, I didn't.
What are you talking about? When people hear crack whore, they just start laughing. That's just the reaction people have. It's got when birds fly in and sing a song. Crack whore. What are you doing now?
I just saw on the TV my hair.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little commercial break.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to get security in here. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you some more because you're going to have some fluids during the break and stuff.
Fluids?
Yeah, you'll see. We'll get that Tanya girl to get them for you.
I thought when you said that, I thought you meant fluids out of my ass.
A couple of times in the 4 years I've been doing this show, someone has stopped me just before I went to commercial to try one more joke. That was the most worthwhile of all the time. We'll take a break, everybody. We'll be right back.
Would like to say a few words about his memorial.
Yeah,
David?
Norm, Dana, thank you. We went to a memorial, and I'm only bringing this up because Downey's on today, and we did an intro for him, but I just wanted to do because I just went to this thing, and it was supposed to be more of a celebration. You know, it was kind of a funeral. We never had a funeral for Norm, so it was like a good way to everyone get in the same room. I think it was called a memorial, but I thought that wasn't too catchy, and they shouldn't trademark it. It's not catchy like Toyotathon, you know what I mean? So it was supposed to be like a light-hearted thing, but you know, those things do get heavy.
Yeah.
No matter how fun you want it to be, and no matter how much Norm would have wanted it to be light. And so we all gathered. The only interesting thing was I think they're doing some sort of documentary for Netflix because it was filmed. And that's, you know, they wanted me to speak, and that's harder when people are filming it, as you know, because it's a serious thing, and it's embarrassing. It's hard to speak anyway in front of people. And the funny part, you know, so Conan went up, he kind of hosted it. The audience was peppered with, like, you know, SNL people, writers, comedians, Dave Attell, Bill Murray from SNL, Sandler, Conan. I mean, Smigel. All these people are everywhere. So a little intimidating, but all friends. And Dana, I don't know if I told you this. So Conan speaks. He brings up Lori Joe, who's Norm's right-hand man. Been with him forever. She's the greatest. She set the whole thing up. Ted Sarandos had COVID. He couldn't come. And he's the biggest fan of this whole thing. So by the time Downey spoke, and he was great. And then I went up to speak, and there's stairs going up there, and Conan goes to shake my hand. I wipe out in front of everyone on my face. I don't even do any jokes. I don't go, not funny, Norm. I didn't say anything. I just said, got up, went to the stage, did my little speech, 4 minutes, got off. And then a couple of people, Molly Shannon, a lot of people spoke, Nealon. And then we were sequestered to another room, another whole building where 6 of us watched his special. That was the interesting part.
So
he did a special,
you told me
Dana.
about that. What was it? How did his special happen? Norm.
So you know how I used to do those monologues during Corona where I'd sit at my desk? It was like that. He had a microphone in his hand, and Lori Joe was filming him, and he just said, I keep trying to do my special, but he was getting weaker, which we didn't know. And they kept shutting down theaters, and they wouldn't let him go. And then he goes, I'm just going to run it once, just kind of say it out loud. And then he never got to shoot it. So they said, let's use that and kind of make a documentary. So 6 of us watched it.
So
It's
he's just
very
in his
weird.
room with Lori Joe with a mic going.
No
right.
audience,
Yeah.
no nothing.
Yeah.
Even speaking at the funeral memorial, it's very hard when there's like a dolly shot, when you're talking and it's like, push in, he might cry. No, I'm not crying at this part.
That
okay,
is- that
pull
is
back,
different.
pull back.
Yeah.
It's just definitely something, they filmed the Comedy Store with Bob Saget. I thought that was just odd because I think people at home don't know when you make fun of someone at something like that as a comedian, they probably think it's very mean, but it's all of us just lightheartedly making fun of Norm, also saying something sad, whatever. So here we are watching the special, Dana, and very interesting. It's about almost an hour. He's got classic Norm stuff. Some's very rough, where people would be offended, which is good. And some stuff just really kills. And some stuff he meanders. But, he hasn't had a chance to polish it or anything. It's just, hey, I'm going to run through it. So it's not really, we were discussing that. Would this work in a crowd? Yes. But Norm has for what he does, it was perfect. They're going to really like it. And we talked about it, discussed about mostly everything was just positive, of course. And excited to be a witness to that.
Did you ever get like a wave of just the surrealness of it, or a wave of like sort of, it's just so strange to see your friend, knowing
I
that
definitely
he's gone.
cried.
It
I
just
definitely
seems-
cried. I didn't at the memorial, but that one, he starts talking about his mom, and you're watching a guy, and this is the last time I've seen him because I've seen him before that, but it was right before Corona. So I haven't seen him, and he looks a little different, and he's a little gaunt, and then you hear him talk, and he was pretty sharp. I mean, it wasn't like, he was smoother than my special. Like, he never looked down. I'm like, does he have a set list? What is he looking at? How does he know what's coming up? There was like, no, maybe they tightened it up, but
yeah.
So definitely we're seeing, and then we talked, and then, we had that Adam Sandler taping after that. So, which is coming up soon. So it was a long day. Sandler was in there too. And I just thought it was interesting. And I thought people should know we finally got to have something for Norm. We never talked about it ever. I never talked about it. And I'm glad I got to see it, but it was a little bit of a crier at times,
I always like to think when someone's gone that they're still here. I kind of hear their voice in my head sometimes. And I think what they would say about everything, I don't know. I'm in denial about people being gone.
And also in the last 2 years when I haven't seen him, or a lot of people, you just think they're out there. You just don't see them. You know, like you'll run into them. And with Norm, you're just thinking if Norm was alive, he wouldn't want to be here because it's an odd situation, and it's hard to be at those things. And
The iron
horse of broadcasting.
It's iron. You don't pronounce it iron.
That's what everybody
No,
tells me.
It's the iron horse. Like Lou Gehrig was the iron horse of baseball.
Yes.
The word I-R-O-N is iron. No, iron.
Iron.
Right. Not. It should be iron. That's what makes English the world's toughest language.
Yeah.
You know, right? Sure.
It is the
Because
toughest language.
to
To me,
learn.
it's the easiest. Yeah.
And it's,
take a
it's
look.
cast iron.
It's
if I
cast
remember.
iron.
Iron.
Cast iron grilling grates that
Are
are
you kidding when you say iron?
You know what? Don't be like fucking Larry King. That motherfucker, I say iron and he's up my asshole for fucking 4 days.
I heard you had Larry King on here.
Cast
Your
iron.
show is, that's amazing, by the way. No one gets on Larry King. Larry King gets you.
Cast iron grilling grates. Look at that.
Why doesn't that clock work?
Why doesn't that cock work?
That
No,
clock
it's,
works.
my cock works
Oh,
just
this
fine.
clock
It's
over here.
Your mind is going somewhere, Norm.
No, I thought that's what you said. I was trying to.
What? No, iron horse.
What do you say? Iron.
Iron. You got it right.
Iron. You know, I'll tell you this, Larry. Say what you want about how huge and fat my head has gotten, but who'll forget it.
Try iron.
But here's what I heard Larry King say one time. This woman had lost her child, for some reason, dead, And then Larry King said, Paul Newman told me you never get over it. Like a psychopath question. That's what I heard Larry King say to a guy once. The guy had lost his child. Oh, no. And Larry King goes, Paul Newman told me you never get over it. It's like some unfeeling psychotic.
I had all my kids on Larry King one time.
Yeah?
And I had my little boy Buck.
Yeah.
Was about 7 then. I had all.
You mean
all
it was
5
one of those
my,
ones where it's a bunch of chairs
Yeah,
in there?
all 5 of my kids and.
On set?
Yeah, getting interviewed there, and he asked to talk to everybody, and then he looks at my little boy and he goes, "So who's your mom?"
Well, he said he never researched.
He doesn't do any research.
He goes, my kid goes, "Mom."
What is?
We hate the most.
That's the one thing I fear is dying.
Man, that haunts me.
Because the thought of not existing, it's like, what the new thing they call it is? Dirt nap.
Good God, Larry.
That's what they call it, a dirt nap.
You would not say that on Hulu.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it here.
Terry was sitting in the chair you were sitting in, and I asked him, what do you think about most of the time now? You don't have a show anymore. He goes, death. I was like, good God. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do a little breezy conversation. And he's like, I don't believe there's anything afterwards either. Just dirt. You're smothered in it. I'm like, all right, easy. And he looks like he's been already dead 10 years. He looks so much older than he does, doesn't he?
We saw him in Hawaii.
Calm your fears about death?
Yeah, please.
Be
serious. Are you being serious?
I'm being completely serious. Because I used to be, as he knows, obsessed with it. And I would ruminate it all night on it. And then I came to a realization that you and death will never intersect. As long as you're here, death is not. As long as death is there, you are not.
Yeah, but since you know it's coming.
Oh, but you don't want that.
And we were like, Jesus Christ, it's like, like a gargoyle. But then the next month or so, remember, I went to do a show, and he looked good. Like, I guess they put makeup on him.
Oh, yeah, they get the people that work over at Madame Tussauds. but then he lights up, of course. It's like those performers that, like Rickles, and then he's on stage, and all of a sudden, so that's the great thing, I guess. You want to go...
But knowledge, I can't take away the knowledge that it's coming. I don't believe I'm going anywhere.
You don't?
Do not. Do not believe in a higher power looking down on me. Why a bomber in Boston? Because if there is a God, he's omnipotent.
Yes.
If he's omnipotent, he could prevent it.
Yes.
Why didn't he prevent it?
I don't know, man, but you got to
don't
stop
get in.
hanging out in that hot tub with Bill Maher all the time and get some. It sounds like you got a God-shaped hole in your heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
And now, here's your host, the star of ABC's Norm, Norm MacDonald.
All right. Wow, this is exciting. Thank you, and welcome to the American Music Awards. This is exciting. I'm not actually in music, so let me introduce myself. To those of you who don't know me, I'm Norm MacDonald. For those of you not familiar with me, thank you very much. I am the biological child of Melissa Etheridge and Norm Crosby. So if you want to... Well, that's the big story in music news right now. Melissa Etheridge asked her friend David Crosby to be the biological father of her children. And you know, this was a new experience for David Crosby. Usually when David Crosby picks up a turkey baster, there's a turkey in the vicinity. That's right. He's a fat guy. But this is the 27th Annual American Music Award. It's the first American Music Award of the new millennium, and we're setting a... Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. And we're setting a big record here tonight. Three straight hours of ABC programming without Regis, so that's kind of exciting. You know? You know, before I did the show, I never realized how much work it took to put on a production like this. Check it out. They spent 2 months building all these incredible sets. They had to coordinate 14 live music acts. And most impressive of all, they had to find a seat filler for Jennifer Lopez. She's got a... What the fuck? What was that? Now, maybe you guys are right. Maybe she doesn't have a gigantic ass. I stand corrected. Well, it's been quite a year in music, though. Let's look back. A lot of classic songs have been covered this year, haven't they? Lenny Kravitz did American Woman. Dwight Yoakam did Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And Barry Manilow released an album entitled Manilow Sings Sinatra, and I'll tell you, it is a great CD, or as I like to call it, it is a great coaster. I like to throw my drinks on that. It's not a good CD at all. And you know, with everyone so obsessed with their careers nowadays in music, you know what I mean? Here's a kind of a nice story. Celine Dion is retiring from music to try to start a family, you know, and I think she's serious about it, because I just saw her backstage chasing David Crosby with a bucket and a copy of Swank. So I think she's serious about it. Well, we've got a big show, so let's get it going. Yeah. Here are our first presenters. As Dr. Fraser Crane, he's achieved stardom in TV, and with hits like Come to My Window and Angels Would Fall, she's achieved stardom in music. But they have one thing in common. They both love the ladies. Please welcome Melissa Etheridge and Kelsey Grammer.
You put it you put the juice in the thing, you juice in there, and then you squeeze it out, and you bake it at about 350 for about 4. Oh, hi.
Name Shadaisy comes from the Native American word for my sisters. It's kind of like that other Native American band, Chumbawamba, which means thanks for that one song. Ladies and gentlemen, Shadaisy, right here. Okay, folks, before we continue, I have an announcement from the management. Would the owner of a Glock 9 with the inscription, "Too Puffy with Love," please pick up your gun? It's at the hospitality suite. Well, 1999 was a big year for Latin musicians, and Atlanta Braves pitcher John Rocker thinks they all suck. He especially hates our next performer, and has never bought any of his 13 consecutive #1 Latin singles or any of his 17 million albums he sold. So if you're watching now, John Rocker, it'd be a good time to hit the can. For the rest of us, here he is, Enrique Iglesias. That's a coincidence because I did that song in a karaoke bar the other night. That's one of my favorite songs. I was just talking to Dre backstage. I don't know if he's a real doctor, but he did prescribe me some stuff. So I don't know. There he goes. And that leads us to our first special merit award of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, for nearly 30 years, our next presenter toured the country with his band, the Grateful Dead, playing guitar to sold-out arenas of tie-dyed hippies. That's right. Please welcome the late, great Andy Garcia. Well, I'll tell you, it's nice to be back on stage out here. You know, I don't want to say my dressing room is small, but Tommy Lee just dropped by to visit. He shook hands with Carmen Electra. He blew out a wall. He's got a huge... Anyway. I didn't know the Judds were back together. Did you know that? I just saw them. I just saw the Judds backstage. Yeah, you're big Judds fans? I just saw the Judds backstage chasing David Crosby around with 6 mason jars and a ham sandwich tied on a fishing pole. I don't know what it means. Our next presenters are talented young stars who became overnight sensations with their brilliant debut albums. And if I could take this moment to offer a little friendly advice, kids, whatever you do, when you put out your second albums, don't suck. Yeah, Savage Garden. That was great. They didn't seem as savage tonight as usual to me, but that might just be me. You know, folks, it's time for our next presenters, and for a long time there's been a rivalry between West Coast rappers and East Coast saxophone players. But tonight they have put their differences aside to be here. Please welcome Warren G. and Kenny G. Our next performers took their name from the nickname of their home state. They picked Lone Star because the other nickname for Texas was already taken by that other band, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, Lone Star! Well, you all know our next two presenters. When he was on the show Silver Spoons, he went by the name of Ricky. But now he's all grown up on NYPD Blue, and he prefers to be called Big Ricky. She is an exceptionally gifted singer and songwriter by the name of Amy Grant, although she also prefers to be called Big Ricky, oddly enough. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Big Ricky Schroeder and Big Ricky Grant. Yeah. Too bad Ricky Martin won. The other two people were here. Well, our next group has had a song on the top of the rock charts for 18 weeks. In fact, they had 4 #1 singles off their debut album, My Own Prison. That's more than talent. That's pure dumb luck. Here they are, Creed. Well, tonight we brought together 3 of the hottest top 10 singers, and we put them together on this stage to participate in a bare-knuckle fight to the death. Here are Tyrese, Jessica Simpson, and Julio Iglesias Jr. It's getting more and more exciting. Getting exciting backstage, too. I tell you, all the big stars back there. You know who I just met backstage? I met Old Dirty Bastard and stage. Yeah. Charming couple, the bastard. It was Old Dirty and Fern Bastard. Very nice. Anyway, it's time for our next presenters. You know, the biggest stars in comedy are recognized by just their first names. That's right, Johnny, Lucy, Rodney. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Maher and Caroline Ray. Well, this is it, the last award of the night. That's right. In about 5 minutes, everybody here is going to be at a big party, and in 5 minutes, I'm going to collect my $200 paycheck and get my soothing back rub from Dick Clark. The back rub was the deal breaker.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Macy swears they're 18. So, yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So, I was a little late here tonight. I took a cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. Something like that. Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. It just seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're gonna say the whole city's gonna go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that That was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah, Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to in the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... Goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know? It's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? Huh? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice. Folks, before we can begin handing out our awards tonight, we must look...
Take a break?
Yeah. Take a break.
Stay around? Oh, stay here. Okay. I thought you were going to take a break.
Did some of my eyes say we should take a break?
Yeah. You ever go on a talk show? You're talking to me, you're the guest, I'm the talk show host, and then they're looking off at the camera going,
oh, that's the worst. While you're talking?
Yeah.
While you're telling
Is that right? Is that right? All right, we're gonna take a break.
Well, we also have to take a break.
Are you kidding me?
It says it right on the monitor.
We have no sponsors.
Oh, I thought we do have a sponsor, right?
You know what's amazing that I didn't know?
We have no sponsors.
I just got word they have to take a break.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's take a break.
All right. Let's take a break.
Say it to the camera.
How do you take it?
Let's take a break.
And that's it. That does it?
All right, let's take a break. And,
yeah, you hold up another card, and I'm going to take the training wheels off your balls.
You are so old that it's not
Trash
right.
talk when we come back.
Okay, we'll take a break and then we'll do the joke off. No, we're not doing the jerk off. Joke.
Oh, it's a joke off.
No,
Yeah,
we're
wildly
not doing
different.
It. We're
Yeah.
not doing it. You don't think you can take them? It's got
It's
nothing
clear
to
as
do
day.
with it. Good Christ! Look at the time, man. We got to do jokes.
Oh shit! All right,
Can we go to
we have to go to
now?
commercial. Yeah.
Okay.
Afterwards, we're going to do jokes.
All right.
You want to read some jokes?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you don't even have to think of them. I just read them.
I like it.
Why are we talking about being gay so much?
You brought it
He's
up.
trying to clean it up. I have a question. I saw that you were kicked out of the AVN Porn Awards for being too offensive.
Yeah.
We're going to find out that story after we take a break.
Good. I have to pee. I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm gonna get more coffee. Do you guys want any?
I think that we should really talk about dirty work when we come back.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to talk a lot about dirty work when we come back, but they keep.
You got sponsors?
Yeah, we have
Okay,
sponsors.
okay.
Who's the sponsor?
But
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Then we'll get
okay.
into dirty work.
Fair enough.
I got a lot of good stories.
So
Who's the
say
sponsors?
we'll be back or something.
Yeah, there's the camera's on you. All right, when we come back, dirty work.
So we will return to talk more about Fred Willard's grandson.
Let's concentrate on me.
Your asswipe producer just held up a sign, let's take a break. Where are we going? We're talking to 6 people. You know, we could get on a bus right now, the 3 of us, and yell out the window and reach more people. We gotta take a break time, but when we return, Todd Glass will read from his book.
No, I won't.
Stoned out of his fucking mind. We'll be back.
My favorite host, you know, they all mean something different. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you what story about this hat. Do you go to commercials?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go to commercial? I see some signs. You want to do it now?
We'll be back.
Oh, yeah. And we'll talk about
we'll
my hat when I get back. We'll be back after we mop ourselves.
Fuck! And now the whole set went quiet, and you hear people going, Santa just said fuck. Santa has just said fuck. And all these kids froze, and then they had a Disney guy. He said fuke. Fuke. It's a Swedish word. Means take a break.
We're supposed to take a break. And so he thought when you said take a break, that I would go, speaking of taking a break. Hey, you want to do some jokes,
On the
Rosanna?
baseball.
I have jokes.
Okay.
Well, we have to take a.
No, we're not going to take a
before-
break.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the break.
No, we're going to just do jokes.
Sounds good.
Party.
Here's some Xanax.
Really? How many should I take?
Well, they get you very
One?
sleepy.
I better take only a half.
Oh, right now, just take a half.
Okay. I don't know why.
Yeah, you should have married.
Yeah. Who?
Sid Youngers.
I know, right?
We'll be back with Rosanna after the Xanax kicks in.
I always get anxious when I'm on a plane and I see a much bigger celebrity than me, and I think, well, if this goes down,
Is that
I'm going to
almost
get mentioned.
every
I'm going to be
flight?
like small print almost every flight. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
Know the end of this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say them all out.
Are we going to commercial? Daniel says we're going to commercial.
We gotta take a break.
We'll be back with the ever funny Adam Egan.
Everybody lies, right? You gotta lie there, but you ever lie for no reason? That's a bad lie there. You know, usually there's a reason, like you want to protect somebody's feelings or, you know, screw over your buddy or something like that, but you ever lie for no reason at all, just all of a sudden a big lie spills out of your evil head there, you know? And you don't even know, like a guy comes up to you and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and a horse? And you go, yes. And in the back of your head, you go, what the hell am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. The hell am I thinking back here in my head? I don't know, man.
You know, Norm's one of those guys, he'll write something, it's a really funny joke, but also let you realize he's a sick fucker. You know, it's like he said, yes. You ever find yourself, one of his Norm's bits, which I just thought like, oh, I fell off my chair, and he said, you ever find yourself lying, telling a lie, and you're halfway through, you realize, wait a minute, there's no possible way I could benefit from this lie. Why am I lying? Saying, hey, did you see Avatar? Yeah. To me, that's just a monster.
Yeah.
You know, that's a twisted mind.
Yeah, he's.
Is the First Lady a compulsive liar, though? It's beginning to look that way. In an interview on last night's 2020, intended to promote her new book, It Takes a Village, Mrs. Clinton folded under tough questioning by Barbara Walters and admitted that, in fact, it does not take a village, and furthermore, that she was aware that it does not take a village when she wrote the damn book. Meanwhile, President Clinton is hard at work on Tuesday's State of the Union address, in which he'll focus on crime, education, and the economy. At the request of the First Lady, part of the President's speech will be huge lies. More questions about Hillary Rodham Clinton's truthfulness. In an interview this week, the First Lady claimed that she won the women's 100-meter dash at the 1956 Olympics, and that she had an IQ of, quote, over 700. When it was pointed out to her that these were not especially good lies, Mrs. Clinton responded, "I know, I have a problem," and then added, "I invented the formula for 7-Up." In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. For years, Hillary Rodham Clinton has told people that she was named for the first man to climb Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary. But as Esquire magazine recently pointed out, Sir Edmund did not climb Mount Everest until 1953, 6 years after Hillary was born. However, the First Lady does have a good explanation for the discrepancy. She loves to lie. A former Arkansas banker told the Senate Whitewater Committee this week that he gave Bill Clinton a $20,000 loan as a favor, even though it was, quote, unacceptable banking practice. In response, President Clinton stated that he has no recollection of such a loan, while First Lady Hillary Clinton said, "We've never even been to Arkansas." Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies.
And my favorite thing about Norm is that he will just flat out lie. Just for his own entertainment, he'll just tell you a story that has never happened. He's completely making things up.
I was with
He does it
Larry
all the
Flint
time.
at the White House.
Yeah.
He
Something
said,
like that.
I'll hook you up. Now, if my uncle from the plains of Ontario said, I'll hook you up, he'd probably get you a nice mincemeat pie. But when Larry Flint says it,
Yeah.
something dirty.
Best.
Truly one of the best.